Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well. I'm here in Workington today, Vulcan Park, not far from the town centre. Workington, if you don't know where it is, it's up in Cumbria, kind of in the middle of nowhere, out on its own, not far from the sea, I think. But anyway, last day of this part of the tour. Gonna sleep in my own bed tonight. Be fantastic. Okay guys, gotta talk about Community Shield game. Going to talk about that game and the result and what it means to both teams. Okay, going to start off at the beginning. Arsenal did nothing, absolutely nothing to deserve to be there. They shouldn't have been there. They didn't win the FA Cup, they didn't win the league, they won out last season. They didn't deserve to be there. They should have actually offered that spot to someone like Brentford. Why Brentford? Brentford were the only team to beat City home and away last season. They did the double over us. Surely they deserve to be there a lot more than Arsenal, who won nothing. I mean, maybe why not bring West Ham into it? West Ham won the Europa Conference League. At least West Ham actually won something. They won something. So why not West Ham versus City? But anyway, the powers that be decided that the ungratefuls and undeserveds of Arsenal we're going to get that spot in the Community Shield. So anyway, you got to play who you're up against. So okay, so that's the first thing. Second, it's a bit of a phony battle. Yeah, it's absolutely phony. The war is yet to come, and that's what matters. Let Arsenal run around and the players run around and Arteta run around, jumping up and down, celebrating this like they've won the Champions League, the FA Cup and the league. Oh, hang on a minute. That's us. Arsenal haven't won diddly, okay? And they're jumping up and down for the Community Shield. And yes, I know some of you non-City fans out there might just suggest that, the continental managers look at the Community Shield as a proper trophy. Well, I'm not a continental manager. I'm not a continental fan. I'm not continental anything really, because we sort of are, but we're not anymore. If you know what I mean. So, to be honest, guys, yeah, it means night. It means night to me. Biggest battles are yet to come, and that's where, if we're quite honest and open and frank about it, that's where Arsenal last season were found wanting in the real battles. When it really mattered, when it came down to it, Arsenal were found wanting badly. And let's see if they can muster up something this season. Look, they spent over £200 million. And they're looking to spend a bit more on the Brentford keeper, was it David Raya, to get themselves up to £250 million just this transfer window alone. Arteta's, what's he spent? 600-700 million since he's been there 3 years. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, that's another point. Chunk time. Okay. Another point. Okay. Arsenal haven't beaten Man City for, was it 3 seasons? This is the 9 games. And actually, in competitive games, I don't know how, because I don't even call this that competitive a game. So, Arsenal take their Pyrrhic victory and do what they want with it. But they haven't beat City for 9 games, 3 years. And actually, we saw last season, playing against Arsenal and beating them got easier and easier and easier. And I think the last game when we beat them, was it 4-1? That was a bit of a humiliation for Arsenal. That was their chance to strike back, to fight for that Premier League title. Not even Robbie Lyle's Churchill moment could help Arsenal out in that game. They got absolutely stuffed. And City showed their credentials. They showed their colours, and they showed that if you want to win the Premier League title, you've got to go right to the end. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Hey, yeah, ambulance for Robbie Lyle and his Churchill moment. Absolutely ridiculous. So Arsenal are very rarely beaten City. Okay. Next, okay, only once I think in the last 11 seasons has the winner of the Community Shield actually gone on to win the league. That was City a few years ago. Okay, so as I said, winning the Community Shield does not give a true. It's not a true idea of what's going to happen in the league the following season. Look at Liverpool last season. Look at Liverpool last season. You know, they won that, you could say, quite convincingly against City. What did they win last season? Nothing. Not even in the Champions League this season. So they fell off a cliff. So beating City then didn't help Liverpool. Once again, I say it doesn't really matter. Then on top of that, let's watch out, not tread on this little dog here. So yeah, beating City don't mean out, okay. Then Arsenal went and did it right at the death. Now it doesn't matter what went on during the game. It doesn't really matter what went on during the game because Arsenal required, was it 11 minutes of additional time? And yes, you can tell me that them's the rules, and I'm not arguing. But Arsenal relied on a lot of luck. Okay, and it happens sometimes you win games by relying on luck. So Arsenal relied on a lot of luck to beat City. Obviously, that deflected goal in the 101st minute. Then they won obviously on the penalties, and they celebrated like there was no tomorrow. And they had a go at Haaland. So Haaland, he was bobbins. He came off after 62 minutes. No shots, was it 13 touches, that's all he had, and they've had a pop at him. Well, guess what, yeah, Liverpool fans and others had a pop at Haaland last season after the Community Shield, and it didn't turn out too bad a season for him, personally speaking, and not just me, Bernard as well. Bernard said the same thing. He's a little bit concerned that Haaland hasn't scored many goals in at the back end of last season. Forget the tour, pre-season tour. This is a bit more of an important game. I'm not saying it's everything to us, but it's a little bit more important than nothing. Now, Haaland hasn't scored for quite a few games. I think got one in about 9 or 10 games at the end of last season. So it's not great, and because it's Haaland, obviously he's not going to be dropped. I'm thinking about whether I have him as my captain in the fantasy league, and if you want to join that, I might put the code in the content in the description below, so you can join the fantasy league. I think the most we ever had in one season was in about 78, 80, 90, I can't remember, a few years ago. But so that's my only real cause of concern, is what's Haaland doing? Why ain't he scoring? And these fans who are at the moment are a bit worried about our creativity, because whatever some fans say about Gundogan, he was a very creative player, and he used to obviously create goals. He used to get assists. He used to score a ton of goals as well. Obviously, he's gone, and there's no one there at the moment who's going to fill his shoes. I'm not asking someone to be another Gundogan, because there is no other Gundogan. What you want is somebody else to step up and create, be a creative attacking midfielder. People are saying that's not going to be Bernardo. I'm hoping eventually that it's Phil Foden. Phil Foden is that man who can not only be creative, he's got these wonderful slick passes, he's got that eye for a pass, but also he's got an eye for a goal, and that's what I want from Phil. That's what I want him to step up this season and do that, be that player that we're missing by losing Gundogan. And then obviously people are saying we didn't have Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez steps up in those clutch moments and scores those goals. Who else can do that? Well, I'd like to think Phil again, if he's there, he will step up. And let's be honest, Mahrez didn't play in the important games towards the end of the season because he wasn't delivering, he wasn't consistent enough. He might score the odd goal in a clutch moment that someone wants to remind us about, but there's not going to be too many of those clutch moments. And if you think there's more than 10 or 12, let me know, because I really doubt it. Was it 5 seasons, 6 seasons that Mahrez was here? How many clutch moments were there? So yeah, it's the pre-season game. It's out of the way. We didn't win. Who cares? Only Arsenal care. And let's be honest, those guys live in a world of their own. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, Blues.